Hello, hello. Thank you, Batgirl. I appreciate that. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in as a way to help our girl out. That is very true. How are you today? Thank you to those of you who are understanding with me switching the time of the stream, the time and day. This should be an interesting one. I'm a little bit early, so I'll wait for people to come on in. But yeah, we'll just chat in the meantime. If you are tuning in, please hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on replay, please hit the thumbs up. And don't forget to leave your opinions. I would love to know what you all think about the video I am going to play. I was very interested in all of this because this does seem to be something that is happening today with dating and, all the things. Hey, Angie. Good morning to you. Blissful. Good morning. So nice to see you, lovely ladies. Hello, Texas. So nice to see you. Oh, I'll tell you, it is a rainy, crappy day here today. Hey, LMP. Good morning. True Texan. OG Fish. Hello. I've seen it. I couldn't believe the audacity. I know. I know. Hey, X amounts. Good to see you. Cowboy car crushing, like number 19. Oh, thank you. It's you, right, Migsy? Took me. I couldn't pronounce your last name. Don't dare try me with this one, Jabay. You got the day off. Good for you, cowboy. Hopefully your weather is better than mine. Good morning, Lori, Miss Liverbird. Can you guys believe Alexis did it? I could not believe it. I could not believe when I got the phone call that she actually did extra credits. She is fully done with high school. Those of you who have been with me, you know the struggles that she has gone through. And I was worried she wouldn't even make it through school. I mean, I knew she could. And I'm just so absolutely proud of her. So proud of her. To be able to not only graduate, but early is just she really worked extremely hard the past 2 years to get her credits up and she has great grades and yeah, so I'm very proud of her too. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Aora. Thank you, Angie. Hey, B fam. Are you doing any more regarding the last case? I am, LMP. I have the last case. I have quite a few things coming up with cases. Yes. Okay, cool. I'll do the introduction and then bring you on up. Thank you. Alexis. Sorry, B fam. I wasn't even going to correct you. It happens all the time. So yeah, I am so I'm just proud of her. I'm excited. I'm proud of her. She's proud of herself. She has the freedom now, you know. You guys remember how it was when we graduated high school, just that freedom of it all. Hey, we Scottish. It's beautiful in Dallas. That's great. 90 today? Wow. I I'd love that. That would be my kind of weather. Thank you, Miss L. Thank you. Thank you, B fam. Hey, Megan. So, okay. So, some of you may not know, some of you may have seen it, some of you, whatever. But as I'm sure we are all aware, there has been a drastic change and Dayton, right? There's been a drastic change in the overall way relationships are perceived and carried out in today's society, if you will. Let me move my Halloween countdown. And that is largely to do, in my opinion, with social media, feminism, the manosphere. I don't know if any of you, I know some of you are slightly aware of the manosphere, but the manosphere, there's about 3 levels that I've heard of so far. There's black pill, red pill, and then there's like the incel aspect of it. So they each teach a different thing to different men, but ultimately what it comes down to is having high standards, which is a great thing. But with everything of that type of, there's always going to be extremities, right? There's always an extreme part of everything. There's extreme feminism, and there's the same way with the manosphere. It is, a whole whirlwind of a world to jump into, and I have dipped my toes in, and I quickly ran away. Some of it preaches good stuff, and I mean, and that's with anything, any type of following, there's always that, mix, and yeah, so many colors to remember. It is a lot. It is a whole universe of, craziness, quite frankly. The overall message is great, but with everything, there comes little spin-offs and, whatever. And I think that is what led to where we are today with dating. Um, how many times have you heard I mean, we live in a world today. Hey, Pookie. We live in a world today where our idea of getting back at men is actually comical if you think about it. Our idea to get back at men is to sell our bodies online, sell our bodies, date as many men as we want, and wear as little clothes as we want. And that is like woman empowerment. And it's actually quite it's not a win for us. It's just not a win for us by any means. But that is what I mean, listen to rap music, listen all music, if you will, not just rap music. Um, Look at the factor of OnlyFans, scroll through Instagram. We are absolutely encouraging this badass, I don't need a man, independent, attitudes where I'm baffled when I hear some songs, especially by like female rappers, particularly because it's just so gross. And that is like kind of what is going into our younger generations, along with this extreme feminism and manosphere stuff. And it's actually concerning. It is, Pookie, because it's just there's no traditional to it. And what you're gonna see today is a lot of is gonna kind of break that down from both perspectives. Not respecting themselves, but demanding to be treated like a princess. Yeah. Yes. And well, let's face it, with social media, there is this direct line and this direct ego feed, right? How many the amount of people liking a picture, especially a female's picture, and as men liking it, it gives this ego boost when half these photos are photoshopped and they're not realistic, and it gives this confidence, this better than confidence, where people are then shooting above their that. This is a whole nother topic. Let me just get into what the actual video is. It is frightening what the kids hear. It's absolutely insane. I don't like it. So I've been seeing a gal for a month now. We met the real way. I talked to her at the grocery store. That is amazing. She asked if we do fall in love, would I laser remove my tattoos for her? Okay. Immediate gratification to get validation. Right. And then that leaves with a bigger ego that is above their actual, I mean, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. Cowboy crushing. Would you? Would you remove your tattoos for her? About a month ago, and she has the nerve to ask you to remove your tattoos? Are they, like, on your face? I don't understand that, or is it another female's name? Even if it was a female's name, I don't get that. Tattoo that she met you with the tattoos. That's just bizarre to me. So, let me go ahead and share this screen. That is a lot to ask somebody, and that would hurt. I mean, So, basically, this is gonna be a woman who, is going on a first date with a gentleman. A first date. What right, well, because the message is being sent their bodies are the prize. You know what I'm saying? And it's asinine. It is absolutely that is a huge red flag. Ah, that is a huge red flag. And, and a lot of women, even, my age and younger, and probably even older, they don't cook, they don't believe in it's a whole mess of a world out here. It is scary. If you are married and you've been married, you are very lucky because the dating world is a hot mess express. And it's a shame because it is breaking traditions. It is nothing is the way it used to be. Nothing will ever be the way it used to be. And a lot of it has to do with social media, in my opinion. Actually, I would love to hold a whole topic on this. If anybody else is interested, you can send me an email. I will type my email in the chat box below, and we could have an entire conversation about this. if you agree or disagree. I don't care which way you take it. I just think it's a very interesting topic that needs to be had. Hey, AT. Hey, Jason. Why do I have to cook? Well, you don't have to cook, cray cray. But if you look back at textbook traditional relationships, the woman, and I know, economy has a lot to do with it, and but the woman used to be the home taker, right? Take care of the kids, take care of the home, and the husband was the provider. And that has all changed because people can't afford anymore to have one parent stay home. And I think that's the reason why there's a lot more, you know, oh, really? We Scottish? I'll look into that. Under attack by who? But so here's my question to you, Cray Cray. What would you bring to a relationship? What value will you offer to a man's life? Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. Cooking, who wanted I personally I like to I'm a caregiver. That's what I like to do. That's what I've always known. So I enjoy taking care of somebody and providing a hot meal and doing those things. Cooking can be fun. It absolutely can be. And I'm not saying the female has to be the cooker, but that goes back to what even without borders, my goodness, X amount of words was saying, which is, what do they bring to the table? See my hot body. See, and then I just say that a little bit ago. I know it. And utmost respect to you. But um, yeah, that's part of the problem because I mean, although a hot body is a hot body and that's great, a body is a body and a man will take anything. So if that's all you have to offer, then, respectfully, there's dozens of other women out there offering the same thing. It's just, she said, I'm joking. I'm 50. You can still have a hot body at 50. Don't be playing like that. And I saw you said you were in the army. So thank you for your service. I appreciate that. Gets 4 points on the 10 scale. Really true Texan. I run the house and husband brings home the bacon. It's the way it used to be. It's a shame it's not really realistic anymore. Different men like different women really is about finding the right match. Oh, absolutely. But I do think overall, in the overall scheme of the way relationships are looked at today is very different than it was, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And if you look at the statistics of broken homes and it leaves away a lot of things. A lot. Mow lawns. I like how you added that in. You can gain weight over the years, so a hot body's great, but it's not everything, it's sometimes not enough. Yeah, and honestly, I saw this controversial thing come up, and a guy said he was no longer attracted to his wife because she gained 50 pounds. And people were saying that was effed up of him and da 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 da. But is it though? You know what I mean? Really think about it. Like on the surface, yes, it sounds like a very fucked up thing to say. But is it? Do just because we're in relationships, do we get to become comfortable and kind of 50 pounds is a drastic weight change. Is it okay for a man? And a lot of times after a person breaks up, then they go and they put in the self-care and they do it in a way of like, aha, I got you. And it's like, no, you actually got yourself because you wouldn't be single right now if you kept that the whole time. You should always take care of yourself. Always. My mom worked so much harder than my dad. She did the cooking, cleaning, full-time job while he did his job and rested when he got home. Yeah. It wasn't as good as it sounds, Gary, and I understand that too. The same time, both people work hard, maybe away from home, so both have to cook and clean, in my opinion. Yeah. It could be split 50-50. However, people run their homes, how they run their homes. It's not easy for women to be homemakers as much in this economy. I agree, Megan, completely. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Moi. Hey, Irvin. Completely agree with that. It's not feasible. It's not realistic. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to click all chat and hit the thumbs up, please. Thank you, no one. I don't know how anyone could do that to their partner. If I love you, I love you unconditionally, and we both get fat together. F it. Yeah, that's true, too. There's a lot of factors in everything. Crazy how things change so drastically. Health issue can cause body change too. We can't always fix those things. No, I agree. I'm just saying, is it really that wrong for the man to say, hey, I'm no longer attractive? I'm no longer attracted to her. I just, if a woman said that, if a woman's husband gained 50 pounds and a woman's like, I'm just not attracted to him anymore, it wouldn't be as frowned upon. Pay for my home, so my partner would definitely have to step it up. I can look at it both ways. Do you love a body only or the personality as well? Well, listen, he didn't say he's no longer in love. He just said I'm no longer attracted. There's a difference between the two. You can still love somebody and not be attracted to them. You know, it wouldn't be as frowned upon. It wouldn't. If a woman said that about a man, it wouldn't be as frowned upon. What if a man goes bald? Right. What if the woman says I'm no longer attracted because he no longer has that head full of hair he had? It's just, it's just the way it is. I've done both housework and dual working with my husband. Both are difficult. It's important to find your teammate, in my opinion. I agree. Whatever works for your home and household is great. Yeah, yeah, Jason, it can happen. What about getting married these days? I would rather just shack up, do it a lot. Marriage doesn't mean much to a lot of folks. No, unfortunately, it doesn't. Not like it used to. Nope. The world is changing, my friends. The world is changing. So anyway, with the change in world comes the change in dating atmosphere, right? We have social media. We can meet people through our social media platforms. We can meet people through online dating, and you just meet people. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, Pookie. And it gives, the partner a chance to either want to fix it and become attractive to them again, or, unfortunately end a relationship. I don't know. It's not an easy answer. And I know there's so many layers to everything. Good morning, Jinx. So I'm going to play you this video. This here on the screen is a woman who was going on a first date with a guy she met. And this is how it goes. So on first check, we can see she's wearing a little green dress. She got her boobs kind of hanging out there, and she got the purple lipstick on. And most importantly, she's live streaming. This woman is going on a first date, and she is live streaming it to social media.
Okay, almost there. Just need to find some parking.
Now, she already looks like she has a bit of an attitude with him. He says, almost there, just have to find some parking. Why is she streaming? Right. The amount of people you see on their phones while they're out at a diner, while they're there's social media has destroyed so much. So much.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Now, do you guys think she asked this gentleman's, like permission to stream? Do you think she said to him, hey, do you mind if I live stream this? Hey, 71. She looked like she got an attitude.
No, nothing.
Oh, what'd she say? She said Cheesecake Factory, y'all. That's what she said. Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
No, nothing. I'm just talking to my girls.
I'm just talking to my girls.
Tell them I said hi.
So right there, he says, tell your girls I said hi. Now, I think that's so great, right? Like, here's a guy who's already first date. He's showing interest and respect to your friends. You tell him you are talking to your girls, and he says, tell them I say hi. That right there is a plus, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't repeat it. She doesn't tell them. She just says, yeah, with an attitude.
Let me just get the door for you. Okay. got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car.
She just locked the damn doors and said, I ain't getting out this car. Just lock the damn doors. Overall, this is a pretty woman, but she's not no, stunner, right? She's not dressed very respectful to her own body. She's got a terrible attitude and she clearly has zero respect. So he gets out of his car and she locks the door. Let me tell you all. Or wait, I'll wait. I like the Cheesecake Factory too.
Mm.
She said no. She got big ass pimples right on her chin, and you're telling this man no, you're not getting out.
Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
You're recording me?
Yeah.
What the hell would you do? What would you do? He's like, are you recording me? And he's a nice looking guy. What the fuck would you? This is so awkward. What would you do in this situation? This is so bizarre.
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this?
A chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this? Let me tell you something. She got her nipple hanging out right here. Okay. I want to take your ass nowhere. That's what I want to do. I personally, and I'm not a man, so maybe I'm being a little more judgmental because I think she's an asshole. But you don't have much respect for yourself, but you expect him to respect you so much. What do people think that a man should spend on a first date? That's my first question. Where do you think he should take you on a first date? I'd be okay going to grab a hot dog from the fucking corner stand. You need a non-chain restaurant, and you're wearing a bright green dress with your boobs hanging out. Right, take her ass home is where he needs to be taking her. Hey, Hollies. I would have went inside to eat, left her in the car to stream. It's just baffling.
To a chain restaurant.
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Green flag number 2. He says hi to her friends, and now he says, you want to talk about it? I'm willing to talk about it, even in front of them. This is a nice guy. This is a gentleman.
Yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Well, okay. Well, here's where you're wrong, Primetime, because it's not about you. If she's hot enough, I don't care if we eat at McDonald's. She might care about the McDonald's. Oh, you're a trip. Hey, Laura. Social media bullying is common norm. She deserves to be shamed for this. She is absolutely trying to shame him for this. Absolutely. She is trying to embarrass this man. She's not just talking to her girlfriends. She is streaming on a platform to humiliate him.
Okay.
So
yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk
You
about
tell him.
it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her.
Okay. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Do you guys remember what I was just saying a little bit ago about social media making women feel higher on the scale than they are? Here we have a woman that has a case of that because she clearly has a platform. She clearly has no problem having her boobies hang out. I mean, we're literally seeing her nipple, okay? And first thing she says is a beautiful woman like this. And as you can see by my pause, Jay Renee, that is up to the opinion of others because I'm glad that she has all this confidence. I mean, confidence in a woman is a great thing, but when your confidence becomes arrogance and you think that you are okay to publicly shame this man, this is a problem, right?
Because I get courted. So you're courting her, right?
She gets courted so well, she's still on a first date. You're such a winner that you are single and available to go on this date right now. Yeah, court and cheese. Yep. Hey, True Texan. Social experience, if it goes well, hit the high end stuff on the second date. Right. Right. You kind of earn the nicer dates. You kind of earn, and right now she's just not very damn respectful at all. But a nasty personality kills it. And this is absolutely a nasty personality, Laura Lee. Absolutely. Right. We're like the economy is flailing right now. And this lady thinks that she is above the Cheesecake Factory. Let me tell you, the Cheesecake Factory is not. Well, if you were here in the beginning, I stated all of that. And there's absolutely more conversations to come from this. The Cheesecake Factory is actually, on a scale of restaurant dining is well above Applebee's. It's not necessarily cheap. It's a pretty expensive place. Now, it's not, as expensive as a steakhouse, but it's not a cheap place either. Anyway, let's go on.
You're supposed to take care of her. You're
And-
supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah. And
That's what
and
you're supposed to do.
I agree.
Not
I
at the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory.
date as I expect.
To protect her. You're supposed to take care of her. You're
And-
supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her.
Can he not take care of her, cover her, and protect her at the Cheesecake Factory? What? All because he took her to the Cheesecake Factory? And honestly, look how nicely he is dressed, as opposed to how some people dress. That was my opinion too, Bond. I wouldn't be comfortable with her either. I would take her on the level she is dressed. I would take her to a place that matches that level, which honestly is looking a little more like Denny's at this point. Okay. So he gets out of his car. He's going to open a door for her. And here, I'm going to jump ahead really quick. Let me tell you all this. He also waited an hour for her to be ready. An hour. No, it's not set up. This actually happens.
Cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree.
So no wonder this lady is single, because she thinks all those things equate to dollar value, to money. If I was a man, I wouldn't drop 200 to 300 on a fancy steakhouse. She wouldn't be on my arm looking like that, right?
Not
I
at the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory.
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself to keep you safe,
Mhm.
to respect you,
Mhm.
to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
just treat you like a gentleman.
Everything he just stated is on point. He has all the intentions to do all the things. Obviously, a lot more than she does for herself, because again, look how she is dressed and wanting to go to some high-end restaurant.
Which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date.
Mhm.
I expect her to be
Understood.
respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative,
Mhm.
and at least
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
What did I do that wasn't cooperative? Well, let's start with the fact that you won't get out of the car. What did I do that wasn't cooperative? Let's start with the fact that you were streaming as you were on this first date. That you waited an hour. Wow.
well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know
and
you.
I
Yeah.
can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
Again,
maybe
I
we're
don't
not
know
there.
you yet.
Okay,
I don't know you yet.
and then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
I feel like I'm doing hey, trust no one, everything I'm supposed to do as a woman. What has she done? She was an hour late. She didn't invite him in while he waited, which, okay, she doesn't know him. Maybe, yeah, okay, that's not too bad. But it's disrespectful to have a man out there waiting for an hour. The fact that she would even be that late. And then she has the nerve to say she's doing everything she's supposed to do as a woman. What? You've done literally nothing. Nothing.
But
I
mean,
got myself
there's
all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well look at
Look
at my plan where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
So now we're here, and he actually had plans for a different place. And let's hear why those plans didn't go through.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 a.m. At 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late, and like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And
so she doesn't know him well enough to invite him up into her apartment, but she expects him to spend all this money on her to get to know her well enough. They missed the reservations because she was an hour late. She is shaming this man. Again, she is streaming this. This isn't just her girlfriend on the phone. Even if it was just her girlfriend, she is shaming him.
That is not possible.
And that's why I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice, fancy restaurant as Aria, especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been, but if we're late, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way.
Another thing I noticed is he is literally making eye contact. He's looking directly at her. He is looking, but this woman rather stare into her phone, to her social media following, than give this man, she doesn't even respect him enough to make eye contact. She doesn't respect him enough to face him while he is speaking to her. You've heard me say a dozen times, eye contact is the ultimate respect, right? She won't even look at him. The nerve, the absolute nerve. He is. He's still holding it. He's still being very respectful. Very respectful.
Way there. And while we're in the parking lot. I'm waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, the equivalent to that?
I literally
you don't
said,
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong.
I will die. That's embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very.
I will die. That's embarrassing. Now she looks to her friends for validation.
Specific certain expectations for that. I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other.
Good on him.
Respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Good.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Then she says, "Oh no, he didn't." And now she looks at him.
So you just want to call it a night? Isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
Mm-hmm. Sure can.
But
he even had the decency to say sorry to them. Hey, Jude. He even said sorry to them. What? Where do you find that statistic at? That most people who go on a first date actually get their own transportation. That's part of the problem too. A first date, the man used to come up to the door, knock, and escort you to the car, open your door. This whole world is just shameful, really, truly shameful.
If I don't feel respected, I'm not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, you are serious. You're really leaving.
Yeah. You didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
Now she's willing to compromise. She wasn't even willing to look at him. Hey, Maurice, good to see you again. Hey, Care Bear. She wasn't even willing to look at him, and now she's willing to compromise. The compromise was the Cheesecake Factory, right? You missed the original reservations. You showed him early on that you had little respect for his time, and his time is money. I mean, come on. Now, right. Meet online, no, my address, lots of crazies. Well, if you're meeting online, yeah, that's a little bit different. That there's a whole lot of things to be said with that. Yeah, now she's nicer. Now she's looking at him. Now she's,
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken everyone.
Oh
so
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do.
mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry.
She's feeling herself so much she doesn't even have the seatbelt on safely because she rather, thinks she looks good. She keeps looking at herself in her camera, fixing her hair. Here she does say, "I'm sorry." So, I mean, at least there's that.
I understand where you're coming from.
I understand where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, let me show you this one. What are your opinions? Well, I guess we've seen your opinions throughout the whole stream. But I mean, how unreal is that? It's so real that some of you don't even, it's so unreal. Some of you don't even think it's real, but it's real. All right. So this guy who normally doesn't do things like this actually got them onto their platform to speak. Yeah, he was beyond cons. Are you a new member? No one you know. Where have you been? Thank you. Welcome back. He definitely came out on top. He was very polite. He held his own. Probably felt absolutely, especially after this, All right, so let's see what happens on exclusive interview. Look how she's a little more conserved now. Now she's dressed a little, Oh, you upgraded your membership. It doesn't show on my end. Thank you so much, No One. No one you know. I thought that was weird. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? He'll find a great woman, absolutely, especially because of her publicity.
Rise and shine, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Truth Factory. This episode is going to be a little bit different. Typically, we talk about devastating issues and inside of relationships and try to talk about the nuanced things in that relationship to heal it. This time, we're going to talk about dating. So I don't know if you guys have saw the viral video, but there's a viral video where a woman is taken to the Cheesecake Factory and she does not want to go inside of there. She does not want to be embarrassed. This conversation ended up going viral, and here we are. Alicia, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
Jay, pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the show, and thank you guys for being willing to come here and have this dialogue.
It went viral, and with most things that go viral, especially of this gratitude, there will always be a follow-up video, such as the pink lady with the pink sauce, and that tends to be the way social media is. When something goes viral like this, other people will reach out for an interview to speak to them.
I'm sure you guys have gotten a lot of flack, maybe even some backlash and things of that nature from this video going viral.
Well,
before we get into it, we're going to take a moment and just relook at that video. It's been a couple of weeks, so here we go right here.
Yeah. Nothing. I'm just talking to my girl.
I'm sure you've had some time to think about it. Before I ask you any questions, have you guys had a second date?
No.
No second dates.
Not yet.
Okay. So I'll start with you, Jay. What has dating been like for you since that video went viral?
Since I was on the video, kind of unexpected. I might not have put my best foot forward, and so I feel like, I've not really met anyone since who I've really gotten to get to know like that, because a lot of women, they might have seen the video or might have heard from it, or maybe a friend of them has seen the video and shares it with them. And so they kind of had this image of me based on the video.
Absolutely.
And it hasn't really helped.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like they might think everything about me is reflected in that video, and I don't think it is.
I actually think he did great in that video. I think he did absolutely great in that video. Her signature purple lipstick, she needs to dress appropriately for her size. I think he was great too, Jink's journey. But I can imagine on his perspective, he felt humiliated by the whole thing,
And but yeah, it's been difficult.
Sure.
Well, and it's even before this, dating has already been difficult for me.
I imagine your views kind of clash with what you're looking for and what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I think in general, my values kind of reflect wanting to build something that lasts.
Yes, sir.
And I want to make sure that anyone that I meet is willing to build a really strong foundation based on our mutual values. And I think it in general, a lot of the people that I meet, either they don't have time to set towards building something like that, or they just don't want to because, they're younger, they want to experience, casual dating or whatever it is. And it's just not something that I'm looking for right now.
Understood. So obviously, guys, Jay's saying that they have they're viewing him in a negative light when it comes to dating. When I saw Jay, I saw someone who was making some excellent points, who knew what he wanted. And he's actually now like a Giga Chad in the manosphere world, in the red pill community.
And as I started to stream off, there it goes. There it goes, right? So the manosphere, the red pill community is cheering this guy. He is so nice. He's very apologetic, too apologetic. I'm surprised he even had the courage to tell her, like, well, I'm just going to call this date off. This date's just done. You know what I mean? And you got to understand, it's a lot harder for men out here than it is women. And so when he's up on this platform and he is, being embarrassed by this woman and devalued by him, yes, it's a little bit of I can see why he's nervous.
The brother's being mentioned everywhere for the way he handled that conversation. Now I'm going to ask Alicia as well, because during this conversation, Alicia.
Thank you.
We'll get that right. Okay, so Alicia, you didn't seem to really disagree.
He still had the respect for her to correct her name. Wow.
Agree with what he was saying. Now you had a definitely a different opinion before he gave you his mind, right? But you seemed very receptive to it. Can you explain to me kind of what you were thinking and how you saw him in that video? Because he's saying they took him in a negative light. What do you think?
Well, yes, I think once we had the conversation, I could see my role in the conflict.
Okay. Okay.
Let's back up a little bit. To be fair, I mean, I was always raised.
What's around her face? What is that? Does anybody else see that? But hey, she admitted she realized
that the man is supposed to cater to you. I mean, you're courting me, so court me.
Huh. And that right there, my friends, is part of the problem. So she has been taught her entire life that the man is supposed to cater to her. You're here to court me, so court me. But what does she have to bring for that to happen? What does she have to give for that to happen? Because it is an entitlement, it's an expectation that she just earns that and deserves that because she's a woman.
That means wherever I want to go, you take me.
Absolutely.
Whatever I want, you buy me.
That's why you're single.
That's courting.
It is not.
I'm looking for a provider. So, but after the conversation, I could see how there was a lot of
Okay.
in that exchange.
Absolutely.
I was definitely very self-centered, and I can appreciate if I do want someone to provide for me, I at least gotta be a little bit nice.
Absolutely. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, great. So
She recognized that, likely due to backlash. She recognized that, which is great. It's great that she was able to recognize that, but she's still saying things that makes me think she doesn't really fully understand.
now I ask you this. Based on your idea of dating before your conversation with Jay, how did you grow up? Who also thinks that way? I'm sure you have friends who think that way. I've heard it a lot.
I mean,
Okay.
everybody. I mean, that's what he's supposed to be the provider.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm a beautiful woman. So I'm expecting to be treated like royalty. I mean, come on. So that's what I was
But the
doing.
kicker is, how do we treat him? And that's where
Right,
the disconnect was.
Right.
In the video, now of course I'm sure you think of it differently now, but in the video you basically told him that,
Thank you, Christina.
you're not going in there, you know your value. It would be embarrassing for you to go inside a Cheesecake Factory. A lot of people like Cheesecake Factory.
Oh.
Now, so when I see that video, I'm thinking, okay, she must have some friends who probably would disagree with her going inside a Cheesecake Factory. Your peer group. So peer pressure probably keeps you from.
Never live that. Oh my God! I would never live.
So her peer group, her friends will judge her for going in a Cheesecake Factory, but not the fact that she's single at her age. Really? Yes, exactly, Jay Renee. And that's why I started off with how I started off. Now, I didn't watch this part. I'm watching this all together with you. Of course, I saw the original video. But yes, that is absolutely the way some women think, is that as long as they are pretty, that is what they're offering. And that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And you can tell this guy doesn't have a lot of confidence. He's slouched over. He's very soft-spoken. He's apologetic. He already has some self-esteem issues. Imagine what this did to him. Having this streamed in front of everybody. Hey, Mrs. Kai. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That down.
Wow. I ate the Cheesecake Factory. They wouldn't let you live that down.
No, I have an image to protect.
Wow.
Wow.
Does not do that. That was, that was my circle though. That's how,
Sure.
that's how we roll.
Sure.
To be quite blunt.
So, wow. So that's how they roll, just be quite blunt. Well, then you pay next time. I mean, what? Like, she's so bougie. Unreal.
That's how we roll. Hypergamy is a big, big thing in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
Is what we've been taught. Why? As a Black woman,
there we
go there. As a Black woman, we're really tired of having to settle. We want to be treated well.
Mm-hmm.
We want that soft life. So that's what I thought I was going after. However,
I don't think her race has much to do with it at all. She's absolutely looking for a sugar daddy. And she is unbelievable. She is truly unbelievable.
Understand is a part of having a soft life is being cooperative.
Being soft.
Not being combative.
You're
right?
Actually being soft.
Right.
Being receptive, being sweet.
Absolutely.
Being pleasant. Right. Because we do understand the value of resources, but it can't be just something for a lifestyle. A man's resources is not just for a woman's experiences and traveling and the lifestyle they'll live when married. Is for providing for the family and the children. And that's why she should seek a man and, respect his resources or prioritize his resources, not just for what it can do for her. Right. And so when you were in the beginning of it, you was just saying, I'm not doing it. It seemed really selfish. Right. And I appreciated that when I saw the video myself. That's one of the things I covered is, wow, I've never seen a woman that receptive to being accountable. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Being that receptive to being accountable? What is he talking about? He's saying in an original video. What? There was zero accountability.
And you were. But Jay, however, didn't want to go out on a date. He wanted to discontinue that date, and he wanted to take it on to the house. Jay, is that your first time stopping a date midway through and going on back home, or?
Yeah, something like that's, I'm sorry, at least, yeah, that's the first time I've really like put my foot down to that kind of extent.
Look how respectful he still is. He's still apologizing to her. He is still apologizing to her. This is a good guy. This is absolutely a good guy.
But it's not like an isolated incident,
Okay.
you know? Like I've gone on dates with several people now, even before her, where they had very specific things they were looking for in a boyfriend or whatever. And even within my own circles, right? And that's just not something that I'm looking for, because I was raised like we were talking about how she was raised, whereas with me, like my family, like we've passed down the name for ages, and we're a very close-knit, strong family.
I'm going to pause really quick because, as I said, this is going to be a whole conversation to be had. And I'm going to have this whole conversation with all of you. But as you just heard him state right there, he's had this happen a lot. And there's nothing wrong with going into a date with expectations. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with knowing what you're looking for. But there's also nothing wrong with a man knowing what he's looking for. But somehow men get judged a little more harsher for that. Men get, you know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing going on here.
You passed down your first name, Jay? Like
yes.
Your father's and father.
Yeah,
How many generations, probably?
I mean, I couldn't really count it myself.
Wow.
Because I mean, the thing is, like, I'm from India.
Okay.
You know, and the partition happened where like India was separated from Pakistan, and a lot of my family were on both sides of that, and we had to come back together.
Wow.
And we had to. It was very important for us to stay strong after the fact. At the time, maybe we didn't care as much about creating this legacy, but ever since, it's like that's been one of the strongest parts of our family, is the importance in creating our legacy.
So his thing is he wants to have a family, right? That's basically what he's saying. What I do find bizarre is he's saying it's such a tradition in his family, yet he's dating outside of his family tradition. So that's a little different.
And with that in mind, like, I've grown up with the idea that I want a strong family here now that I'm living in America. The only kind of relationships I seek are ones where that is the only value. That is the biggest value. That is the most important thing for the other person as well as for me.
Wow. That's actually powerful. So your family going through all that they did, it caused you guys to really idealize relationships, right? And
specifically relationships that last.
Absolutely. And so here you are in America dating, and mostly in our culture, where you stated earlier you were a Black woman. Of course, we have been through some things, right? In our culture here in the States and throughout the whole diaspora, I like using that word. But a lot of times our culture has been stripped, and we haven't yet began to idealize relationships, you know, so we're more so going along with the flow. So here he is in America, and he's meeting a woman who's in America, and she sees dating the way Americans see dating. And so I can see the clash in that.
Yeah.
That was such a bullshit excuse just given to her. First off, the race doesn't matter much, right? Understand what he did. He just gave a whole lot of extra talk to basically say, I'm looking to have a family. My strongest value, what I want, is a strong valued family, a traditional family. But this excuse that he just gave her, that this is the way of American dating, it is not. It is absolutely not. It has nothing to do with race, has nothing to do with America, has nothing to do with American dating. It represents the problems within dating currently in America, but it's not an excuse. For her behavior is not an excuse for, like, to offer that as an excuse is absolutely ridiculous. Well, he looks like a simp.
Yeah.
You know, He's looking at you as if that's selfish. You're looking at him as if, he's treating you beneath your worth, your actual value. So here's what I want to do, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back a bit. Can y'all tell me how y'all met? I want you to tell me how you guys met.
So I was in Midtown, and I barely even have time to go out with friends and all that. But it was a really close friend's birthday, so I went to get some drinks for the first time in ages, and I saw this beautiful woman, who it seemed like every other guy in the bar was either intimidated by or too shy to talk to, and I thought, what the hell? Why not? And she was, minding her own business. And I asked her, her name, Alicia, and I thought that's a beautiful name. And even despite how loud it was in the bar, we were still able to talk a little here and there. And I got her number, and she had to go. And so we kept talking after that for a little bit. And then like a week later, I asked her, you want to go out?
So they met, they spoke there, and then they continued to speak and talk for a week. What part didn't you understand? Hey, Cheese. What part? What do you mean? Wait, what to what? Sorry. So she will go to a bar, but not Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, I mean, she wants a non-chain restaurant. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So they didn't talk about any of this before the date. He should have seen all this before the date. How do you suspect him to see it all beforehand? So how was she dressed at the bar? Well, we've seen how she dressed for this restaurant. Well, there you go, right? Exactly. Great things about government cheese. I wouldn't buy her a Mac D's life is so selfish. OG Foosh. How was she dressed? Well, there we go, right?
To this restaurant.
Yeah.
And I told her it would be a surprise. And maybe that might be a problem on my part. It might have raised the expectations a little bit, but I guess the surprise ended up being Cheesecake Factory, where
Right.
the original surprise was.
I want to get to that. You had something else planned for her, right?
Yeah.
Because of how the evening went, the Cheesecake Factory happened, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
can I just say before
sure.
I love the Cheesecake Factory, and it's a place that I've gone to for like every birthday. So like it wasn't just like a random restaurant to me. It was also like a place that I've gone with my family throughout my entire life, and I love Cheesecake Factory.
So you didn't. So obviously the because you guys were late, she wasn't ready. You weren't able to take her to the restaurant that you wanted to take her to. You figured I can't go wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yeah.
It's my old birthday restaurant.
It's my lucky.
She'll love it.
And that's the lucky spot too at the Perimeter.
Lucky spot. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Okay.
So that's actually kind of sad to me, because you have the facts, and of course she wouldn't know that, but here it wasn't their initial destination, no. But he did say that the Cheesecake Factory is special to him. He's gone there with all the time with his family. It's his lucky place, and of course she would not know that. She wouldn't know that at all. But that makes it even more disappointing for him, right? It's sad. It's just sad.
I'm kidding with you.
Okay.
Alicia.
Yeah.
So Jay, you see Jay walking up to you in the bar, say Midtown.
Mhm.
He's walking up to you. He's gonna talk with you. there are other guys around you. Did you notice those guys probably want to talk to you? Did you see that? And
Yes, I did.
so
Oh,
so what
please.
made you say, okay,
Let me tell you something. A high valued woman is not hanging out at the bar. Okay. Sorry.
I'm going to give this guy a chance? What was it about him?
Well, he was bold enough to come up and talk to me for one.
Confidence, okay.
So yes, I definitely am attracted to confidence.
Mhm.
He just seemed like he had a pure heart. He
Mhm.
was, very thoughtful, engaging.
You can see between them it would never work out. This guy is very not he's a simp. You can see it. Let's just be honest. You can tell he's slashed over. He's not very confident. He seems very nice, but she's loud and more obnoxious than he is. And I just you can tell they wouldn't even be a good match. It's just the whole thing's bizarre. But I'm thinking she probably saw him as money. She probably saw him as money.
I mean, the only he won me over. He did win.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase myself. High value women are not looking for men at bars. That's sweet about his family, spending money on her. He's a nice guy. She should be polite and help him enjoy her company. Right. His confidence seems to come and go. Absolutely. And that would be a great way for him to start is with his confidence. If he just sat up straight, that right there is going to, I mean, he had the confidence to approach her. Maybe maybe he's worried about being shamed again in front of her. Maybe he's already been humiliated, so he's on edge because of that. I don't know.
Win me over, but I'm a tall woman, and so there wasn't necessarily like that immediate attraction. But as we began to talk, it was really his heart that made me say, I'll give this guy a try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that where you draw your line? Is that typically you don't date guys who are, guys have to be at least your height or taller before you would date them?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand.
So she already gave him a chance against her initial attraction. Which right there says that she's already going to go into it without high expectations, yet she still expected him to spend high dollars on her.
And that probably makes it difficult finding someone suitable for yourself.
Oh, well.
You are what, 6'1", 6?
I'm almost 6'1", yeah.
Almost 6'1". Wow. So
wow, beggars can't be choosers then. I mean, come on. Would you sit on her lap too, Cheese?
that means, let's see, 14.5% of men are at least 6 feet, right? But that next 2 inches for you to find someone taller than you, that's 3.6% of men in the entire world that are tall enough that are they're at least 6'2". Is that discouraging?
I mean, I only need one.
You need one, but he needs to be that height. He needs to make the resources, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be funny. He needs to be charismatic. He needs to be disciplined, and that doesn't.
And everything she is saying is everything that most women want. They want a man that is tall, 6 feet tall, financially stable, blah, blah, blah. So although she says she only needs one, the pool is already lowered. The percentages are already lowered. He probably looked them up, Copa.
Doesn't discourage you? Like,
I'm an optimist. But no.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
but no, I mean,
An optimist.
Yeah.
Logically speaking.
I was waiting for him to say that. An optimist? Are you really? Good on him for calling her on that. Are you really an optimist?
Speaking, I understand what you're saying. I've heard this many times. But I haven't given up on I hadn't given up on that. But I'm actually open. I really enjoyed our conversation, so I would consider.
Well, sure, and I was going to commend you for that. I didn't see it as a. I know you're saying.
Why is he praising this woman? He is literally praising this woman. He has complimented her so many times, and she doesn't deserve any of the compliments. Not one.
And that they have to be that height, but it seems that you are willing to, make an exception, just like you did for Jay here when he walked up and he had the confidence of a 6'2" man. You were willing to at least hear what he had to say, and that's a good thing, because it may not be the cookie cutter thing that you plan out. So if we're going to look for a happy relationship, a harmonic one that gives our children and our lineage what they need for years and generations to come, right? We may have to make an exception or two, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's not what we want, it's what we need.
Mm.
and we have to
Yeah.
be more open to what we need.
Well, let me tell you, you didn't want Cheesecake Factory, and you certainly don't need Cheesecake Factory. Okay? Okay.
That's absolutely true. I was going to say,
Hey,
when it
Connie.
comes to how we date, I think a lot of it is just the information that we have, right? So what I noticed from yours and Alicia's conversation, Jay, is that you had a different view of altogether of what dating should look like leading up to a relationship, and she had a different view. And now,
like, what I should say is, I mean, at the very end of the day, like, I understand dating in America is different from where my family's from, and in a way, like, it's perfectly fine to have those views and to think of dating differently. I just think, for me, I have a very specific criteria, and it's not a long list of criteria, but it's just certain values that I
sure. Well, I think
Sure.
a lot like you. That's why the
Yeah.
video stood out to me. I believe relationships should be harmonic. They should be for a reason. So I believe in dating with intent, right?
Yeah.
But many people in our generation today, they see dating as something that's just fun. They don't see it.
There we go. There we go. Dating with intent. And many people see it as just fun. Playing chicken. Oh my goodness. This whole thing's just mind-boggling. I just can't believe that this guy is kind of showering her in excuses and compliments when she deserves none.
it as a way to establish a healthy relationship. And that's what I was going to say. There's almost little to no understanding as to what dating should look like when you're trying to establish an intent for a meaningful relationship. And I think that's the biggest problem. It's not so much that people are necessarily selfish or entitled. It's more so that they don't know what they're looking for, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Oftentimes we think we know, but we really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when he asked you the question, you expect men to go.
No, Juan, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so again, you didn't know what you want, blah blah blah. She does know what she wants. She wants a man with money. That's it. Period. Point blank. That's all she wants.
Go all out on a date, huh? And you said absolutely. If he likes her, he should present that, right?
Yes.
He should lead and be masculine. He should be willing to pay for the meal, show up on time, open doors for her, the whole nine. But when he asked you, what does a woman expect you to do? You said, look good, be there. And that's where the
disconnect was. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because there should be things that a woman should do, right? So if you've thought about that, could you tell me some of what you think now, if he would have asked you that question today?
Sure. If you think about, watching the video, it's like, how do you expect this person to keep giving, and you're not giving anything back? So now we're depleted.
Absolutely.
Boom. Isn't that what I said in the beginning? And if you recall, he actually said that to her. He said, basically, what are you offering? And her good looks. Her good looks is what she was offering. Isn't it funny how, now she has this whole different attitude? And I'm sure it's because she received a lot of backlash. She had to have received a lot of backlash. They did not say how old they are. No. But you can tell she's clearly a little bit older than him.
Absolutely.
And so who's going to pour into him?
Wow.
Right.
So, I mean, if you truly do want that type of protection provider, there has to be some balance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
wow. Yeah. That's very powerful. I actually took the liberty to make a list of things that men and women should look for in each other on a date, right? I'm going to read them to you. I want you guys to tell me what you think of in the end, okay? Let's start with what you're looking for in a man.
Yep.
Okay, so what a woman looks for in a man is respect and courtesy. Would you say I'm wrong? Confidence, right? Communication skills.
Absolutely.
Knowing what he wants, where he's going with it, right?
Yes.
Initiative, taking the initiative. Chivalry.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything he did, right? Everything I pointed out he did. He had all of the green flags. Meanwhile, she threw red after red after red. Megan, in my opinion, she's absolutely saying this for the show.
Resilience.
Yes.
Right. So even when you being a little bit, hard to get, he can push past that, right? The resilience. Generosity.
Thank you, Pookie. Have a great day.
Okay. So here are the behaviors that look good to a man when he's looking for a woman. I'm going to ask you the same questions. You tell me if you like the sound of that. Men are looking for kindness. right? You want her to be really kind, really sweet, right? Pleasant. So what about active listening?
Yeah.
And you said when she got in the car, she was putting the makeup on and she wasn't really responding to you or responsive to you.
Yeah.
And you took from that she didn't like you much.
Yeah.
Right. Encouragement. And,
Yes,
and
please.
you said that, being able to pour back into him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Positivity, right? So not being negative, having a smile on your face, right? Respect for independence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adaptability. Okay. There was
That-
this time where you wanted her to hold your arm,
Yeah.
right? And walk you to the, so you could walk her to the car, and she didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You expressed to her that you didn't like that. And that made you feel like, of course, when her not being on your arm, how can you truly protect her?
Thank
Right.
you.
But also her not doing that says she ain't really feeling me like that.
Yeah.
She don't really like me like that.
And
Yeah.
you know, I get, you know, it was a first date. Maybe she's not at that stage yet. But
I get that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question. Let's just say you're out with him, right? You're on a date with a guy and some guy comes up, takes your purse. Do you want your date to have your back?
Yeah.
So
He has to protect me.
and even if he's not ready for that yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he shouldn't even ask you on a date if he's not going to protect you or something would have happened to you. This is why you should take his arm. You see, so it may feel like I'm giving this guy too much of me, but it's more like
Mrs. Kai, I'm sitting here thinking the same thing. First off, it's a feeling of protection, right? It's walk side by side with me. It's a symbol of protection. It's a symbol of I will protect you. If you're not comfortable doing that, you probably shouldn't even be on the date, right? Because I mean, that's as harmless as it can get. Literally as harmless as it can get. So I just don't understand that.
I'm being cooperative to the roles that we're playing. He's going to protect me if something happens right now. And so I'm going to stand close to him. This lets the people on the outside looking in know that I'm with this man. He is taking care of me. We're out together, right? So
it's like it kind of shows that you trust.
Absolutely.
I think I felt like
Trust is a big
word. What women get out of a date is a free bodyguard. Because if anything goes wrong with her, he has to really put his life on the line for her. Mm-hmm. So if a man asks you out on a date, you shouldn't say, I'm not ready to hold your hand. I know that seems like a move forward in a relationship, so to speak, but it's actually just part of a date. Your goal is to give him an example of what it would look like if you were his partner, and his goal is to do the same. So to a man, you not doing those things makes it appear that you're not that interested.
Definitely not ready to be a partner, I guess.
It also kills his ability to be completely masculine for you on that date, because if you won't take his arm, then, you know.
I feel like when you just said like trust is a big word, it is a big word, but maybe the way I saw it is when you wanted to go out with me at all, that was you trusting me.
That's true. Okay. That is so true. That's what I'm saying. So at that point, well, you know, Megan, that's this whole thing, right? And I've seen things about this. There are so many women that are just so annoyingly defiant, right? They're so annoyingly defiant. What I mean by that is if you're walking with your, you know, your man, right? Thank you, Connie. If you're walking with your man and your man says, walk to the right of me, a woman that's going to stop and say, why? Why do I have to walk to the right of you? Is a problem. Because it is his duty to protect you. So when he says, walk to the right of me, get to the right side of me, you get to the right side of him. That there's this annoyance in today's world where everybody has to be combative. Everybody has to be independent. Everybody has to know what they're doing. I don't even know how to explain it any further than that. It's just like if you want a man to protect you, be submissive enough for him to protect you. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
And it did kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it's an ego hit.
I can respect boundaries, but it did still at the same time hurt my feelings.
And that's okay. And that's great that he is able to express that. That is awesome. He can express, you know, I respect your boundaries, but at the same time, it still hurt my feelings.
You didn't trust me.
And of course, as men, we're going to try to be receptive to that and understand where you're coming from. But it does kind of limit his ability to do his full, to be his full masculine self in that capacity, right?
Yeah.
The last thing I had here was intellectual stimulation. Mm-hmm. Right. So we like when a woman can respond back and be attentive.
How can you get any of that if she's busy live streaming? No, I don't think they're together now. She's a scrub. What does this guy do for a living? Some kind of tech nerd or what? Well, see, burnt popcorn, you say that off of stereotypes, right? And I'm sure that's what she saw when she looked at him. Feminism gone wrong. Absolutely. Give me 1 second and grab a drink. Yeah, just that simply. She's a scrub.
Right?
Yeah.
Have a good conversation. Right? We look for that in women. And I definitely think she appeared to have that. You guys started off on it was a little difficult conversation, but it seems like she understood you. She was receptive to what you were saying. Is that typical for you?
Well, typically, a lot of the girls that I met, as I said, like they're literally only trying to date to date or to like have. I don't know. I'm allowed to use the word.
Sure, we're in hookup culture.
We're in a hookup culture, exactly, and so like they're just looking for that, and so it's like sometimes it's not necessarily about the values or anything like that. Maybe it's like more small talk, maybe, and maybe sometimes it feels like it's something that'll take more time to get her to open up or something like that. Where at the end of the day, they don't want a second date because we haven't gotten to know each other. And that to me sounds so irritating because you didn't want to get to know, we didn't get to know each other because they wouldn't want to talk.
Absolutely.
So it's like,
I completely understand. So as a man dating with intent, you're ending up in these situations where a lot of times you're in hookup culture. And so you're not getting a second date out of it. Meanwhile, here you are, you have spent your money, you spent time with this person who you're never going to likely see again.
Yeah.
Right? Women oftentimes are looking at dates as what they can get out of them, right? An experience, right? Take me to a nice restaurant. I want the ambiance. I want the treatment, right? And with no intent of doing anything special for the guy after the date. So it's almost like it's almost like she's getting over on him.
It's almost like annoying that this could be drug out to this extent.
Right? Like she's using them for meals. And that's what men say. I'm not going to keep taking these women out if they don't like me. Don't go out if you don't like me, because then it wouldn't end up where he's on the outside looking at the thing. What do women say oftentimes when he's upset? I took you to this restaurant, I did that, and now you don't want to get close to me, you're not ready. And she's like, well, you wanted to do it. She will let him spend, knowing she's not interested in this man. Do you feel that's wrong?
No, I don't like users. So, I mean, I do think I think that we're all adults and there's enough of every type out here to where that's not even necessary. Like there are men that really will just spend money on you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a certain type, there's things that go with that, but there are, men that'll just spend money on you and are okay with that, But
what do you take from the type of man, if you don't mind me asking? We call that a simp. And we call it a simp when a man is willing to buy you anything, take you anywhere, and you haven't actually earned that from him with your affection or just being there for him in general. How do you see that?
If women are being really honest, I don't think most women actually respect a man that is like that. And I think there's two different types. There's the ones that will spend money on. And
see, that's starting to get annoying too, because anytime a man is respectful or he shows too much of an interest, he is immediately labeled a simp. And honestly, we're guilty of doing that here today. He was immediately labeled a simp. But there's such a bad, it's like said as a bad thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, isn't that what we want? We want somebody who shows us their interest. We want somebody who is willing to express that. And that's what they consider simp. Somebody who goes out of his way to tell a woman he cares, somebody who caters to a woman, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's such emotional damage. It is such a shitty world that there's this much thought into all of this when it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. It should be as simple as if you have a connection, if you have an interest, go out and get to know each other. Instead, there's all these fancy words and terms and, it's just so stupid. But again, that's because of feminism and this whole manosphere thing. It's just horrible.
And they're objectifying the woman and she's just like a toy for them.
Right.
And then there's the ones that really are
trying to buy his way in, just trying his best to earn any type of affection from her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those men, there's a lot of those women who allow that to happen, right? So that's why I take what Jay doing here as being something that is great for men everywhere, okay? He knew his
Right, and that's what's aggravating. They are immediately labeled simps, and it is frowned upon to be a simp. But at the same time, like she just said, there are men that will just use a woman and not do all those things. It's just so aggravating. Said a man should yield a woman so that he puts himself between me and any possible danger. If he didn't do that, there should be no second date. Right. Like a man should walk on the side of the sidewalk where the road is. A man should sleep on the side of the bed where the door is. Those are old traditional things. But so many women nowadays say, and we've seen people say throughout this chat, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. Well, honestly, if we go back to our roots and our genetics, we do need men. I mean, it's just such an asinine thing to continuously say we don't need men. Yes, we do. Put her in a place. As soon as he got assertive and said, I'm taking your diva ass right back, she melted right down and started. And maybe, and honestly, Jay Renee, in the little world, that would be called a brat. And that's what I mean. There's so many titles instead of just saying that, it's just so weird. Yeah, he's still interested, Cheese. You can tell. It's the exception. He doesn't cater to anyone else, if that makes sense. Absolutely. You know that he'll only do that for you.
It's worth. You are a beautiful woman. But he said, you know what? I'm just gonna take her home. I don't have to do this. Even to the point when you said, I will go eat with you at Cheesecake Factory. He saw it as, I would have set aside the date, right? Us being late to that reservation. You're not holding my hand. You're not talking to me in the car. But it seems that you pulling out that camera really, really got to him. Do you mind telling me what you probably took by that? You're just on a date and all of a sudden now she's recording you.
A lot of times, if I'm the one asking a girl out, that's me already offering to pay for the meal, right? That's me already being okay with that, right? But her recording me did feel like that's where I felt like she was trying to take advantage. She was trying to and maybe you had a different view on it, but it felt like at the time that you were just trying to get food, like a free meal from a fancy restaurant, and then you get content from me too to post on YouTube, Facebook.
Boom. And he is so right. And good on him for ending it, because that is absolutely the truth. Right. And Jay Renee, is that because she received a lot of backlash from the initial video? Is she just giving on what they want? Hey, Charlie Ann. Or has she really opened her eyes and realized and learned? You know what I mean? It's obviously this lady uses social media. She can absolutely be acting,
And you get your reputation ran through the mud. So it's all be done at your expense, right? Now, that wasn't your take. You have many groups where you encourage women on dating. Y'all talk about dating. And this was something that you said, look, y'all see a lot of dates go wrong.
Right.
So based on your mindset, you really felt like he was taking you somewhere beneath your value.
Yeah.
And you were saying, I'm going to show the world how you're treating me, right? Can you tell us a bit about that so he knows that, it wasn't to embarrass you. It wasn't to, get content, any of that. It was, I felt wronged. And
that is such bullshit. This guy keeps offering her all these excuses, and it's not right, because if the man pulled out his camera and immediately said, I was going to take this woman to a fancy restaurant, but she didn't have the respect to cover herself up and dress appropriately, he would be shamed for it. But the fact that she was able to open up hers and publicly shame him because she felt that she was disrespected is unbelievable. Stop giving this woman excuses.
in that scenario. You mind?
No, I did. I felt like you didn't see my value. And in that moment, I felt like I needed the support of my viewers.
And people are addicted to getting their ego and their narcissism met through their viewership. Absolutely fact. The fact that she just said, I felt like you didn't value. So you devalued him because you felt he didn't value you. How about you value yourself enough that rather you were taken to the high-end restaurant or the Cheesecake Factory, it doesn't matter. Right, what value? What is she, right, please, what is she talking about?
In that moment. And not only that, like he said, I discuss relationships and things like that. So I thought that was a good opportunity for me to kind of have that conversation and see, like, what does everybody else think?
She speaks about relationships. She has what? Oh, Lordy.
I wasn't really taking your feelings into consideration. I wasn't trying to be necessarily malicious or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Good. I'm gonna say this, guys, to end this video, okay? In a world with hookup culture
Mhm.
not having much understanding on relationships based on how we're raised, and then you got
Mhm.
social media with the instant gratification and making it so easily to meet
Yep,
people and replace people. Dating has gotten, it's like a thing that's lost to us. I want to ask
it is.
these two beautiful people here a question. They had one date that went bad. They have not went on a date since that day, right? Now, would you guys be open to another date,
Say no. Say no,
knowing
bro.
what you know now?
I think if we were able to find a way to get our values more in the center, I could see us trying again.
No.
I mean, yeah, I would be willing to go out on a date again.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, we want to keep up with this.
That is not awesome. That is absolutely ridiculous. So the whole thing was ridiculous. She played the game of gonna make him wait, and he was still willing to feed and spend time with her. Right. Don't forget, he initially had a fancy restaurant set out for them, but she had him waiting for an hour. She was an hour late. I did not date much when I was single, but the guys always pay, so I try to be interesting and happy and make it a fun experience for us, regardless of attraction. Well, there, yeah. Right. No. Dipped out on her like the guy did that 4 dozen oyster broad. I miss my opinion. Hasn't changed. She's vile. Oh my God, dude. This is a woman you absolutely cannot take advice from. Right. That's what I mean. I mean, look how much she just changed up just in this alone. This whole thing's just insanity. I just don't understand this. But like I said, this goes all the way back to there being a problem in today's dating altogether. Then be with such a woman, and that's exactly what happened. That's what I was saying, blissful. That if she truly had the value within herself, it wouldn't matter if it was a high-end restaurant, the Cheesecake Factory, or a low-end restaurant. She is the value. She's bringing her value to the table. Her value doesn't decrease based upon her surrounding, but clearly she just doesn't. She just doesn't value herself. She values her reputation. She values the way people perceive her more than she values herself and others. And that's probably why she is a single woman. I mean, come on. This is unbelievable. I think she's learning to play a role to get what she wants. Absolutely. So yeah, that was this this is the beginning of a very I plan on making more videos to follow, not necessarily based on this lady and her experience with this gentleman, but the overall conversation to be had, because it is a much deeper conversation, and that's just like a droplet into the pool of what is a problem in today's society when it comes to dating, expectations of dating, feminism, manosphere crap, red pill, blue pill, green pill, whatever bullshit. It is all bullshit. All it has done is greatly affect everything, and that's partly to do with social media and a lot of other things. That's why it has to be a whole nother topic, because there's so much to it. You dated a millionaire. Wow. When I dated a millionaire, we enjoyed eating anywhere, as loved each other's company. He went cheap and dear also. Well, people become millionaires by saving money, you know. I'm not going to be part of manosphere by any means. You take care as well, Aviator. Thank you for being here. She still expected him to take her somewhere else and him pay also. Don't let someone pay on a first date. She literally said, call that restaurant again. And he was like, no. Please leave with her on good terms. Don't open that chapter again. Well, she doesn't respect him. It will never work out. Their values are not together. They're not in alignment. And he even said, if we were able to get our values centered, no, you won't. You never will. It will never work. She still expected him to take her somewhere else and pay also. I dated a millionaire in my haughty youth, and he was the biggest cheapskate, right? Right. That's how they get to be rich, by saving their money. We loved park picnics. Yeah. Because you were there for each other, not the fact that he was a millionaire. A lot of this just common decency. Don't be late. Don't have stupid expectations. Be nice, etc. Right, Mrs. Kai. And that's what I'm saying. And instead of it just being like core values, just common decency, they put all these pretty words on it, right? They make everything difficult. Simp, Chad, Giga Chad, da da da. All these things that should just be basic and simple are now complicated by feminism and manosphere. You know what I mean? Seriously, I've been happy with a double cheese from Mickey D's. I'd be happy with you know what I want? I just want some Popeyes. I've been craving Popeyes chicken. I think she could have respected his wishes where he wanted to go. Next time she could have chosen a venue that's well, and that's how it should be, Jinx. First off, as she said, she wants a man that's going to be controlling or not controlling, is going to be protective, take the lead. Well, he was taking the lead by picking the place. If you felt that place was beneath you, well, you should earn your way up to the high end places. I don't know, whatever happened to like a first date just being like going to bowling or, I personally don't even like first dates being at a restaurant. You don't really get to talk much. You're eating. It's just, I don't know. Like, you want to do something where you can like loosen up and have a little more fun. I don't know. It's just so bizarre. And the fact that she decided to go ahead and record it blew my mind. Um, she felt devalued, so she devalued him. And she needed the support of her audience? Are you kidding? At a bar? Well, not everybody drinks. I'm single and he would have been happy with where he chose. I don't think a man should have to pay on the first date either. Plenty out for a free meal. Well, he shouldn't have to pay. Depends again what the values are. A woman can offer to pay. I'm old school. I do expect a man to pay on the first date. That's just, and it's okay to expect that. Millionaires are cheap. You want a sugar daddy, you might want to go with the six-figure man who wants you to think he's a millionaire. Dana's like but at a bar, you can't hear people talk. The music's too loud. I mean, a bar's not quite the place I'd want to go either. And honestly, if a man on a first date wants to take me to a bar, then I'm going to go ahead and just think that he's not looking for anything serious. So her dress was beyond awful, and literally her nipple was showing. So there's also that. Drive-in movies. I wish they'd bring them back. Right. Meet me for coffee. A daytime meet. Absolutely. I'm with you, Migsy. Absolutely. I'm with you. Coffee is a great way. It's broad daylight. You can sit and have coffee and chat. There's no loud music blasting. It's a great place to go. A dinner, you're kind of eating. You don't get to loosen up. I don't know. My husband and I have been married for so long that our fun is farting contests. Well, there you have it. What the crock? I love it. What was that? Where did she get that? Is that what is the name of that clothing company that sponsors a lot of TikToks? Fashion Nova. That was like a Fashion Nova outfit. And the fact that she thought she was like, first off, who's wearing green dress? But who's wearing a green dress with purple lipstick? Okay. And the fact that she thought she was above Cheesecake Factory in that dress. It's just gross. I disagree. I think coffee dates are the perfect place to be. I can't eat on a first date. Normally it's a bar, a few drinks. Ugh. No. Why do you want to get a few drinks in on you on the first date? Are you looking for anything serious? Or are you just looking, you know what I mean? I bar is not a first date to me. I don't know. But then again, what are you looking for, right? I mean, if you need to have a few drinks to open up, well, you're opening yourself up for something not too good. 1 year later and he's still around, right? Because that's, you know what? All right, so this is how I'm viewing it. Those of you that want to go to a bar to meet, you're not looking for anything serious. That's my opinion. Those of you that are going to a coffee shop, you're looking for something a little more serious. Right. But yeah, loosen up for it. If your nerves are that bad to meet somebody, you probably shouldn't meet them. I mean, drinking in my opinion, is not the way to go. But, I don't drink and I don't really encourage drinking. So I've never been to a drive-in, Bright, and I would love to go. No, I disagree. I disagree. It's what normal people do. I completely disagree with that. Not their own Cheesecake Factory. You have a lot of variety and can draw on the table paper. We dated 10 years from a station cafe. Right. Thank you, Jinx. So look at that. We have 2 in the chat that met at a coffee station and ended up staying in a relationship. So, right. I listen, if he says, do you want to meet at a bar? I think he's not looking for anything serious. Period. I mean, it's just not, I don't know, responsible. I just don't like it. I just don't think I feel like it's classless. I think it is. And it seems like you two are single, right? Through a friend. She didn't tell me she was setting me up. There you go. I don't drink and I love coffee. Right, Blissful. Our first date at the coffee shop went so well. We were there for 5 hours. I love that. That's so sweet. Never gone to a bar, picked anyone out there. Never had a one-night stand either. There you go, Jinxie's journey. I know. I would love some Cheesecake Factory. And like I said, it's not necessarily cheap. I don't understand. I don't know. Right, and it's dangerous. That's what I'm saying, but LMP, that's what she does. Well, respectfully, LMP, I met my husband from our jobs. He had to cross-examine me, and I didn't share his same opinion. Opening yourself up for some not good things, I agree. It's just dangerous. I've only been there once. I've only been to Cheesecake Factory once, but it was good. Oh, you don't have it in the UK? Yeah, they actually have dozens of types of cheesecakes. They have really good meals. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mute for a second. Upscale chain restaurant, right? It's not like you're going to Denny's or Applebee's. It's up there as far as chains go. Me and my hubby have been married for almost 40 years. Our first date was a round table pizza. Still in love with each other and pizza. I love that. I love that. Wasn't Waffle House. It wasn't Denny's. It wasn't, and these are even places I wouldn't, snub up to. I would enjoy them all the same. Applebee's, 2 for 25. Let's get it. No, thank you. 21 months, Gary. Holy hell, you're amazing. Is it just cheesecake sold there? No, absolutely not. There's all types of stuff. They actually sell real meals, like real, dinners. Um, I love that you did that, Gary. The amount of people that say I don't have my day ones with me are absolutely mistaken. I have plenty of my original community here with me. And I like the fact that people are over there trying to speculate on me and Cheese and that Cheese doesn't support me and we're not friends. And here's our buddy Cheese right here in the chat. So enjoyed MacD's and also Harris and London. Both were equally fun. It's who you are with, I think counts. Right. Absolutely. See, if I didn't feel comfortable going out on a date with somebody to the point I felt I needed to drink, I just want to go on a date with them. My boyfriend and I went to Waffle House earlier this week. You can't beat that. I've never been to the Waffle House. Thank you, Mrs. Kai. I very much agree with Jess. Keep in mind, altering stuff at a minimum on the first date, both for safety and because you're serious about getting to know someone. Right. That's why I said I don't think they're looking for anything serious if you're going to the bar. Absolutely agree. Sounds good. He is a very decent man. She was way over the top wrong in so many ways. Cheyenne, I completely agree. Yeah, Cheese. Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna hunt you down for an interview because you don't fuck with me no mo. Ridiculous. My husband took me to NASCAR race at Talladega. Our first date, been married 48 years. Congratulations. Marriage just isn't like valued as much in today's society, which is really sad. Oh, I agree, 71. I agree. What does that have to do with anything Granny's watching? What? Which part, OG Fish? Yes, you are, Miss Ella. The way she recorded him live was off-putting to me, rude in fact. I love how humble he was and respectful even when she wasn't. He even, said hi to her friends. He remained open to conversation. She allowed him to record. LMP, I get it. I get it. I had visions of eating cheesecake for 3-course meals. Yes, a very nice guy. He's definitely not a simp. I was just kidding. Well, and it's easy to label him a simp, because but he did take his assertiveness back. And you know what? What's wrong with being a simp? Because I was saying about the amount of when Gary put his timeline here. I was saying that, yeah, and by the way, not only are they saying I don't have my community, which I do, that continues to grow, but those that are seeking out Cheese saying he's no longer part of this channel, they're wrong. They are absolutely wrong. He is still part of this channel. He has been part of this channel. I can't stand people who are over their phone while you're trying to have a combo. It is absolutely rude. It's beyond rude. It's I don't respect your time. That's what it says. Thank you, Batgirl. I know where you mod. Yes, that is very much true. That is what they said. I'm a photographer. Still don't film things like dates. No, that would be so weird, Jinxies, wouldn't it? Because they don't have any themselves. Why are they so eager to remove people's support? Desperate much, yes, because they don't have any themselves. So what they do is they project their own insecurities of not having any support, let alone, long-standing support, and they try to put that onto others. I mean, it's beyond obvious to see which is, who's wrong. Well, I was here. I try to connect with you maybe next month. I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You're coming next month as well? That would be awesome. So that he would, oh, yeah, because why would he go with her again? She already publicly humiliated you. I mean, come on. Maybe this time he'll be smart and he'll make a channel out of it and he'll get views out of it, Husband and I met on Facebook, been together 10 years. The nice thing about meeting online is you can talk so much before meeting. The bad thing is that you might not be physically attracted to her. Yeah, that is so true. They have a loser mindset. That's how losers think. I think her date was for a show online. Well, I think so. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking from what she said her content is about, that's very much what her content is about. I think she's likely one of those people who go on many first dates and records them to try to say something to her audience. That's what I think. But barely even that many people left, to be honest. Very few. Like very, very few left. And the ones that did, they weren't. Look at them. That's all I can say. Look at them. And if you think about it, well, some of us aren't buying 100 subscribers like others are out here. We are naturally grown, which is a great thing. And yeah, I just think these people are ridiculous in their thoughts. And it's a very immature way to think anyhow. 44 years, Connie. That is amazing. Very good. Do you really remember how horrible the audio was? Oh, thank you, Gary. Hey, Paige. Say, there's Paige. The trash got let out. You know what? The zero growth and drama, love, and filth got taken out. That's all. I think it is fair to say there's a lot more original day one people in here, or people, that have been here for a significant amount of time compared to over there. So I just don't get what's the whole point of that. But still trying to, no, it's just part of the topic, just flowed out. I think she was on her high horse and changed her tune when he said he was taking her home. Good for him. Yeah, and I think because she is what they would label a brat. She is somebody that absolutely wants to push boundaries and have a man put her in her place. I think she enjoyed that. And I think that is why she did that. That would be brilliant. That is what he should do. He should go and record her and leave. I never left. 1 year, almost 3 months. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. Still trying to get a free meal, right? And then, imagine if he did go on another date with her, he would absolutely have to be of a high-end restaurant or he'd be, shamed again. Why would you want that type of pressure on you? That's crazy to me. So yeah, that is the basis of today's stream. Opening up the door to traditional values being gone. Do you think feminism and this whole manosphere stuff and social media plays a part? Do you think it's for the better or for the worse? I haven't left yet either because you're still awesome. And there have been times when I've been sicker than a dog, can't be here, but I'm still here. Thank you, Paige. Thank you. I hope you are feeling better. As he showed where they should have been going. Right. She's like, call them. He's like, no. Yeah, she's just very, I just, and the fact that she would record that and says that she speaks about relationship stuff, that really just sets out a wrong tune to everybody. And she's saying, well, that's her social circle. Ma'am, no, it isn't. With your Fashion Nova. No, it isn't. I got 13th step 10 years ago and it worked out. I've got 13th step 10 years ago and it worked out. I think it's all a publicity stunt. Well, it's also what feminism calls out too. He said, no, I'm taking you home. Bye. Yeah. And he could have very well just told her to get her own ride home. He still had the respect to acknowledge he's taking her home, said bye to her people, and drove her. So there's that. I'm sorry, Paige. That must be really hard. I don't hate the manosphere. I hate everything altogether. There's good values in the manosphere, just like there's good values in feminism. It's the extreme parts of it that get too far. No, they don't. Not like they used to. I had a coworker who moved to Hawaii impulsively. She used to Tinder to survive. First date every day with leftovers, hold her over to the next one. That's part of the problem too. Oh my goodness. I think he's been used by a lot of women, and maybe this was a test to see where if she was interested in him. I think that he really had plans for a high-end restaurant. She was late. I think it all went out naturally. Anyway, I am going to wrap this up. I do appreciate you all being here with me today. When the video ends, feel free to write your opinion in the comment section. Please hit the thumbs up. Purely crap, he was still a gentleman, 5-foot goddess, 6-foot goddess. Hey, she could be a 6-foot goddess, girl, but not with that attitude. 15 years of being with somebody who passed away. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Paige. Yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Leave your opinions in the comment section, and let's see where we can take this. I think there's a lot to unfold here. I think this goes a lot deeper. He was great anyway. Need more men like him in the world. Yes, Jinx, yes. Want to be a member? Oh, yeah. If you'd like to be a member, feel free to click this link. Thank you. Thank you, Miss L. I will see you all shortly. Enjoy your Fridays. Enjoy every Fridays. Take care, Granny. Been a blast as always. Thank you, Jinx. Thank God it is Friday, right? Thank God. Are you confused, Cheese? You want to come up and talk it out, friend? My non-friend friend? All right. Hold on. Let's let Cheese out really quick. Although I won't be giving them too much focus, Cheese, as you can understand. But I can at least break it down for you. Thank you, Texas. I want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. Pick me up. Yes, Miss Savannah. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Well, don't leave yet. Let's give ourselves a minute. Anybody ever see the show on Netflix that's called Bright? It's actually a really good show. False ending. Wait to see it. I messaged you. Do you need it dropped in here? I would take you to the Waffle House since you haven't had it. I know. I've never had the Waffle House. I did try chicken and waffles, and it's actually surprisingly really good. All right. I'll drop it in here for you. I usually hate dropping a link in here because you just never know who's going to grab it. Come on up, Cheese. Bright. I believe it's called Bright. It's like with Will Smith. I think it's a movie, not a show. It's actually pretty good, though. I was surprised. It was different. It's so stupidly petty, OG Fish, but 'tis the way of these people now, so. I know. Didn't this make you hungry? What is there one place you all wouldn't go for a date? Like if you found out somebody had intended to take you to one certain place, like what is there a place that you do consider under your standards? Do, 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 do. Come on, Cheese. The strip club. Strip club or the nightclub? Very good answer. I mean, honestly, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. It's about the company, not the place. My opinion. I mean, she was wearing a ball gown. I see why she expects a formal. Wouldn't you dress according to where he plans on taking you? Hello.
Hello.
Oh, it is you. Okay. How are you?
I'm good. So what's going on? Why are people hunting me down? What the fuck?
So remember that stream we did, where we crossed every topic you shouldn't cross, which is politics, religion, and things. So they, I guess,
Yep.
clipped a part of that, and for some reason, because they haven't seen you in my chat, despite not knowing anything about you, they automatically assumed you no longer support me, and they've made this grand plan that I guess Voices and others were saying they know where you mod at, and they're gonna come hunt you down to get an interview, and
Where I mod at? What the fuck?
all the stupid things, cheese, all of them.
First of all, I don't mod anywhere. I've been given wrenches, and I don't even know what that's about. I don't know what to do with them. I don't really care. But what are they gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? Jump on
Right.
the hate granny train? Like, what the fuck? That ain't gonna
Here's the
happen.
thing. So here's the thing, cheese. So the way these people operate is at a very immature mentality.
Okay, who
So
are these people? First of all, who is?
well, I don't advertise their names. I'll tell you that privately. Just a bunch of misfit weirdos is what they are. I mean, you've seen some of them in my chats, but they do this weird thing. First off, the fact that they're stalking my chats to see who's even commenting and who's not is pathetic within itself. I don't answer to any people. I don't respond to them. I let them, they just do their things. They poke endlessly. But the fact that they're like over there, like, oh, we're going to interview cheese, and because they think everybody's as sleazy as them. Even if you left and no longer supported me or was part of this community, not everybody is so disingenuous as them that they would go on like a hate campaign. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, not everybody's that immature.
And they think that we had some kind of falling out.
Yeah, I guess they think we've had a falling out.
Well, that has to be from the last time I was in your chat, and it was what was it about Bash? I didn't agree with what you were doing with Bash, and I mean, I'm gonna speak my mind. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but
and you've always
I wasn't.
done that.
Yeah, we've had disagreements in the past, but it was never that serious. But
Right. Isn't that just crazy though? Like, yeah, so you
well, I
have
would, and I wasn't mad at you, and I did leave feeling some kind of way because it's just me being me. I'm a big spoiled brat, and you said something, and you said something in the chat, and I was like, oh no, she did not just talk to me like that, and I was like, skirt, I'm out of here.
Right.
Yeah,
And
because
we've had that so many times. I mean, that's how you are, and that's how I am, and that's how our relationship is. So the fact that but the point is that they're weird, and they're literally, not only are they like spying on my chat to see who's commenting, but they're also like seeking you out in other places, which one is literally you're a stalker. Like your obsession has led you to being stalkers, and you don't even realize how pathetic you look. Two, they're like speculating on like what happened with us when like nothing happens. Like you're still here.
well, if they're stalkers, they're not very good at it. Because my channel, if you go to my channel, you would see that I was dealing with a lot more than out of YouTube shit. I had my brother Smokey in the hospital fighting for his life, and I was dealing with that and
I'm sorry
with
to hear
other
about your
things.
brother. I'm
He's
really
cool
sorry to hear
now.
that.
He's out the hospital. It's all good.
Well,
But
we're talking about people, cheese, that don't realize there's a whole real world out here that only live virtually. You know what I mean? So like the idea that maybe you just had something happen in your real world wouldn't even cross their minds because they don't exist in theirs. They live virtually.
yeah, and I'm not gonna even if we did, let's say we did have a falling out, and that I'm not gonna be over there talking smack about you. Like that's just not how I operate.
Right. That's my point. Not everybody is backstabbing, weird, hateful,
jump on a team,
Right.
No,
Right. Not everybody rolls that
not
way. Like
me.
some people are mature enough that if they no longer like a creator and or their chat, they just leave. Not everybody has to make everything this big explosive, but that's why these people are who they are and are where they're at and will never be above that because their mentality is of that such, and it's a sad way to live.
And they obviously don't know the relationship between me and your channel because I'm never there for the drama. I've been that way since day one. I don't care about drama. That's not something I think a man should even be involved with. Y'all crazy. Women are crazy, and you guys are catty and vindictive and jealous and all that. And I don't think a man's place is in any of that drama.
And,
I
and
definitely not.
and say it again, Cheese, since day one, right? Like you are a day oneer of this channel.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
wherever I'm modding at and they're checking me out, if I ever bring up your name, that's the first thing I say. That's my day. This is all your fault. Bitch, you fucking did this.
I created the monster.
Exactly. I mean, I just seen you, stumbled upon you. I don't know how you got in my feed because I don't know how, but I heard you and you were just flashing on motherfuckers, just blah, 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 oh, yelling and screaming. And I was like, what the fuck is this bitch's problem? And I thought it was kind of interesting. And and that was a long time ago. That was back in like Natasha Cooper 2 years ago.
Yes, day
But
one. Yep.
yeah, I know. I'll always give you that respect, no matter what happens to us now into the future. You'll always have that respect for me, and I'm not one to talk shit about people anyway.
Right. That's my whole point. And as you know, you are a very valued member of this community. We all respect and appreciate you. And I didn't think for 1 minute that you would go over there and be like, plus what would you have to say? Like, oh, I don't like that bitch. So what? Join the club. You know what I mean? But the fact that they thought they were going to get like this hot exclusive interview with poor Cheese that Granny chased off the internet, like they're fucking weird. So you guys heard him.
Yeah.
His brother was in a hospital and he was dealing with real life things. Not everybody who you don't see in a chat that you shouldn't be watching anyway. You probably should spend your time a little more productively than stalking down my chat. It is gone from the internet. Now, some people have real lives. You say your brother's doing okay now?
Yeah, he's a champ. I mean, he's been through way more than this. But yeah, and that's what I was dealing with, and I didn't really want to be online and in chat rooms or whatever, modding for people, whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, but I'm real curious to know who's saying this. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to be on your bad side. The last thing I wanted is you fucking yelling and screaming at me about me. Shit. I'm already under the desk when you're yelling at other people like that. Shit. I want that energy directed towards me.
I could never. And like before, anytime we've had a disagreement, we go to each other. I mean, that's the mature.
Yeah, that shit gets handled offline. That's where it should be. It shouldn't be all publicized and shit.
Well, and I guess that's the difference between you and our relationship and then these people, because these people are just so drama filled that this is their daily existence. Their hate is so strong that they're literally paying me. Like when your hate is that strong that you're paying me, you're not like necessarily a hater. You're a fan. You're a low key fan. You are paying me, but you're also.
And I bet they're all in the bushes right now, huh? Like come out wherever you are.
They're all in the bushes right now, and you just.
My email address is in my channel. Contact me. I'm curious to know who you are and what your problem is, because.
I'll tell you what, Cheese. This has been their content for like 4 days. There's been 4 days of like, poor Cheese. We're gonna reach out to Cheese, and let's have Cheese on. And then you got people in the chat. I know where he moderates at. Like you're fucking weird. That's so weird. So
where do I moderate at?
Like sorry to burst your content in your little bubbles, but here is Cheese, and we are fine. That's your.
I only fuck with 3, maybe 4 people on the internet, you being one. I think I have a Wrench and 6 Up channel, which I didn't ask for. I didn't ask for a wrench nowhere. I don't even know what to do with the fucking wrench. And Whispers, and I don't know who else, but
hey, Kurt.
Gina Diamond. And so I don't know. Yeah, whoever they are. Yeah, that's kind of goofy to me, but whatever. Contact me. Okay, y'all come out the bushes and say what's up. I'm here. I'm curious to know what the fuck is your problem.
Their problem is their hate for me has become that strong that they like I said, are literally not only stalking out my chats, but now stalking out subscribers to join their hate campaign. It's just weird, and it's
I
actually
can't keep up with your ops. Honestly,
it's the same
I don't.
ones. It's the same ones. As soon as I tell you, you're gonna recognize it. It's the same one. It's always gonna be the same ones. It's a chat of trolls and misfits that only get views when they bring my name into it. And just so you know, all these weirdos are pitying you. Poor cheese. Like they fucking know a thing about you. It's just so gross. So gross. But I do appreciate
Poor me.
and, you know, as always being part of this community, a valued part of this community. You are very much appreciated. And yeah, fuck you haters. How about that?
Right. All
But I'll
right.
tell
Well.
you who they are. Thank you, Cheese. I will talk to
Yep.
you shortly.
Have a good day. Have a good Friday, everybody.
You as well. That's right. Happy Friday. Don't go on any first dates to the bar. May be dangerous, my friends. Don't order
Yeah, that's
dozens of
another thing. Like,
oysters.
why is this dude and this broad not talking shit out before they even go on the date? What's communication breakdown? Y'all should have got through all of this nonsense before they even went on the date.
Well, they
That's
said
my take on it.
they spoke for a week. They spoke in person and they spoke for that week.
Spoke
And then
about what though?
that's what I'm wondering, because obviously nothing of value, that they didn't realize their values don't line up.
Yeah, I'd have jetted the second she told me she was 6'1", 300 pounds. I'm not trying to date nobody bigger than me that could beat me up.
Well, they met in person.
Oh, okay, I missed that part, but
Yeah, they met in
I,
person. He approached her, you know.
and what a sucker he is, right? Like, dude, grow a pair.
And then
Fucking
the fact
stand
that
up
he
for
said
yourself, dude.
he would go on a date again with her. It was like, no.
Yeah, he seems kind of desperate,
It's a shame for him, poor guy.
or he's got a lot of enemies, and he needs some backup.
She would be good backup, dude. There's no denying that.
Well, I definitely want her on my
Especially
team in
when
a
they were
bar
talking
fight. All
when
right,
they
I'm
were
gonna get
talking
off here
about
now.
protection. It's
I
like,
gotta
no, she's protecting him. All right, Cheese. I'll talk to you
exactly.
soon.
All right, take care, everybody.
Thanks, my friend.
Bye.
All right, guys. I appreciate you all being here. Even the haters in the bushes. You just heard from the man himself. He doesn't need your pity. He doesn't want your pity. He's not fucking anywhere. And he will never fuck with you. So there's that. Please hit the thumbs up on the way out. Enjoy your Friday. Again, don't go to any bars on first dates tonight. Make sure you already speak beforehand. You know the expectations. And most of all, don't ever record a first date and try to humiliate them. I promise you, at the end of the day, you're only humiliating yourself. I hope you all have a great day, a great Friday, and I will be live again soon. Talk to you all later. Hey, Spinakers, good to see you. Staying single is so big. Thanks for the stream. In today's world, it probably isn't. All right, guys. See y'all soon.